Well, hello, friends. Glad you could join us. Welcome to the fifth round of the season for the CCRL Wednesday tier. And we are tonight at the Suzuka International Racing Course in Japan, one of the world's most storied, respected, and definitely sought-after victories in the world. Let's take you through the starting grid for tonight's contest. Only 14 drivers on the grid, unfortunately. It will be Scornsey on pole, 1:27.849 is the pole time. DJE flat in second, 3/10 of a second. I don't know English, as it turns out. 3/10 of a second behind, only about 14 one-thousandths behind DJE Flat as Reimer in third. It'll be the pair of the Aston Martins, Angry Walrus and Manson, fourth and fifth. Curveball will begin sixth. It'll be Johnny Damon. The Williams starting in seventh. The 10th behind him, and eighth will be Charlie Golf, who only had one lap on the board as well. Ninth will be Merck. 10th will be Hemphead. 11th will be Jabor. 12th will be Owa. 13th Bongit. Rounding out the grid, who did crash quite early in the session, was the Salber of Sepulveda. He'll start 14th. He did have quite a bunch of errors in the qualifying session today, a couple of which were coming out of that final chicane there, right before the pit straight. The other, where we found actually Sepulveda's crash in the qualifying session, was coming out of the spoon curve, heading down the back straight towards 130R. So it could be one of those nights here where we see a lot of thrills and spills. I'm hoping so. Every time I visit this circuit in the broadcast booth is just one of the best times of really each and every season. And speaking of each and every season, here's what our next three rounds look like after today. On the 26th, we'll head to the Lusail circuit in Qatar for round 6. March 12th, we'll head to Coda. And March 19th, we will head to Monza as we complete the middle third of the season. Well, we're actually just beginning the middle third here. Round number 5 out of 15. Wait. Is that right? No, I'm an idiot. 12. I can't count. That's okay. I can't count. I can't speak English. I can't read. I can't write. But I can drive a tractor. And here we are. Once again in Suzuka. Once we see the grid show up here, it will be time to put the foot to the loud pedal here. There is, of course, only 14 cars on the grid. This might turn into slightly a podcast at some point, I'm sure, especially if not much is genuinely happening. But what I will say is this: there is always something happening on this circuit. And it's interesting because it's not even always just overtaking. The overtakes that are made here are genuine feats of skill and daring composure, really, because of how old-school style circuit this track is. So anything you do see made today on track will be that of a good move, genuinely. Of course, only just the one DRS section down the pit straight into the first corner. I think they probably could add one heading in towards 130R, although it is kind of a quick corner there, so I don't know if it's in their best interest. But yeah, either way. Just waiting for our cars to appear on the grid. Assuming it's a straightforward strategy night here, mediums to hards, unless, of course, the safety car comes into play, in which that one could get changed up. I would assume the safety car is going to happen sooner rather than later. Although this is a circuit where it could happen either way. Sooner, in the sense that off of this opening start here, there could be some carnage later, as in once the tires get worn down. 4 lights, 5 lights on here in Japan. And we are underway. Scornsey will lead them off the grid towards the... Oh, we got the south. That was an Aston Martin. Absolutely clobbered the outside wall there off the start. That was Manson. Scornsey ahead of Reimer into the first corner. I believe it is that. DJE Flat has lost a good couple of spots there. As we make our way now through the S-curves, DJE Flat has lost 4 positions off the opening go. Charlie Golf is up 5, actually. What an incredible first couple of corners action we have now, exiting the S-curves up the hill through Dunlop and heading in towards Degner 1 and 2. This Dunlop corner, it's a blind corner up there if you have something go wrong. Oh, look at this! 3 abreast into Degner 1! Oh, and I don't think it's going to end well. The Ferrari of Bong is into the gravel. It's a bit of a beach day there for the Ferrari in question, having been 3 abreast going in there. That almost never works out. Side by side, never mind 3 cars into 1. Manson does have a lot of missing front wing, having had that incident off the starting grid, to which that car absolutely just shot to the left-hand side and to the Armco barrier on the outside. Through the spoon corner they go, and then down the backstretch heading in towards 130R. Scornsey does have the lead 0.6 of a second over Reimer in second, followed by the other Mercedes of Charlie Golf, who, as we said, is +5 on the day. As far as tire strategy is concerned, everybody except that of Jabor and Sepulveda have stayed medium. 13 to 16, that is your recommended window here, according to the game. Could it go sooner? Could it go later? That's going to be up to the drivers and how willing they are to be able to play the strategy game and try to make some moves happen on pit road rather than on track. DRS will be activated this time by. Of course, they'll have to wait until the next time round to actually be able to get their taste of that rear wing opening. Unfortunately, again, there is just the one DRS section on this track. Through the S-curves they go, and then heading up through Dunlop coming up next. Again, that Dunlop curve, which I was trying to talk about there, it is a blind corner, and cars do sometimes have difficulty going a bit wide, clipping the gravel, and having a bit of a spin round. If you do, there is nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. There is, of course, behind you, 14 other cars that are coming straight at you. Into the hairpin corner now. Sometimes we do see the odd dive into this corner. Usually it's just off that first lap. It does set up a good run here through 200R and then heading towards the spoon curve here, which we do occasionally also see moves be made through there. And here we go. Here's one now. Angry Walrus for the inside of Jabor. Jabor, I believe, is he missing front wing there on the left side? No, he's not. Well, it did look like it for a second there. But Walrus has overtaken Jabor exiting the hairpin. Down the backstretch now, heading in towards 130R. Very quick, very dangerous left-handed corner. 1, 2, 3, and eventually 4. They make their way through, heading in towards the chicane here. And then exiting the final corner, heading down the pit straight, heading in towards turns 1 and 2. I think it is technically listed as 1 and 2 here. I could be wrong, but, that's all right. Heading down the pit straight into the first corner. Reimer's going to try it along the outside, and he will have that move made before they get to the braking zone. So Reimer has now promoted himself to the top spot. Scornsey is still right there behind, and I think for Scornsey what's important here, he does not find any mistakes. A lot of drivers, what they'll do, and this is the separation that we see from the great drivers like that of Reimer and Scornsey. Reimer, by the way, has just taken a championship of the Monkey Mafia Esports Series on Monday. Well, this is a separation that we see from the good and the even greater. Is that a driver having been overtaken for the lead like this, like Scornsey, sometimes we'll see drivers just make mistakes and kind of throw it all away. Scornsey will not do that. I hope he doesn't do that. As into the hairpin here, having been overtaken by Reimer, has yet to actually really even begin to lose time to the back of the Mercedes. Reimer will get away a little bit better out of the hairpin that time, but it's still 0.3 of a second as they make their way through 200R and into the spoon curve. Looking a little bit further back, I'm wondering what happened to DJ E Flat there off the start. Just such a poor beginning to the Grand Prix from him. He was in such a good position. Did it, have some sort of lag or delay with the lights turning off? That's the only other thing I could think of realistically, because that is just such an unfortunate turn of events there. Manson has stopped 30 seconds behind Bonga in P14. After having to replace that front wing. This is where it's getting interesting here. Does Charlie Golf find the opportunity to attack Scornsey before Scornsey can attack Reimer? Down the pit straight they go, heading towards the first corner. Charlie Golf a little bit too far out of the picture there. Reimer will remain unchallenged in through turn 1. And I think that's kind of what Reimer has to be looking for here. Does he potentially, try to back up the Sauber of Scornsey, get him vulnerable? Maybe pull the old bait and switch and have Charlie Golf overtake one, if not both of them, to get the Mercedes in the 1 and 2. It could be done. As these couple of cars battle up there, as Jabor's gone round, yes he has. He's spun it round there going through the second of the 3 S-curves. And it doesn't appear that he's hit anything, and we're back green flag racing. All the while, these 3 cars at the top of the grid do battle. That leaves ability for Johnny Damon to kind of squeeze his way in there once able. Although Johnny Damon, again, what I will say is this. 30% energy store, Charlie Golf 65, Scornsy 89, Reimer 62. So Johnny Damon is having to push just a little bit more to be able to keep up. This isn't necessarily a track where you're going to see a lot of energy store be gained and really harvested after that. There's only a couple heavy braking zones on the circuit. That first corner you're taking in probably third gear. The next hard braking zone after that, I would probably think maybe Degner 2. Then the hairpin after that, and then finally the chicane. So yeah, not a lot of places for energy to be made back up here. So we'll have to wait and see who conserves. Reimer is not conserving right now, 10% remaining. As Scornsy, I thought, was going to have a bit of a look there to the inside. He chose not to. 70% battery remaining for Scornsy compared to the 60 for Charlie, 27 for Johnny Damon. Around the outside of Curveball there is going to be the Aston of Walrus, as well as Hemphead, I believe, having just been overtaken by Owa. 27 laps of this Grand Prix on tap for you today. We are on our way to way through the fifth one now, through Degner 1 and 2. The top four cars separated here by about a second. That's about it. 9/10 of a second to be exact. Good little statistic to have. That's a big lock up there for Damon. Oh, I thought he was going to go into the back end of Charlie Golf there. Scornsy actually went quite wide going into the hairpin. Charlie Golf may have an opportunity here. Nah, he's going to be just a little bit too far back to be able to make that one happen, exiting the hairpin through 200R. But maybe is there an opportunity heading into the chicane before the final corner? Making their way in through here. Scornsy only 2.5 of a second behind. One thing I will add is that this final corner here does get a little bit hairy at times, especially if your tires are getting on the more worn side of the equation. Oh, something has happened with Charlie Golf there. He currently has fallen quite far behind. Scornsy almost wanted to move to the inside there, couldn't quite make it done. Charlie Golf, I think, actually kind of went wide there. The two Alpines will swap positions now. Just wondering, again, what happened there with the Williams of Johnny Damon. That car was there amongst the fray and is now suddenly 2 seconds behind. I don't really know. Was that some sort of error from the Williams coming out of the final corner? He has not hit anything. There was no glimpse of a yellow flag. I think maybe, yeah, was that just pure error there from Damon. So that will cut the battling few up to 3. As in towards the hairpin they go, 1, 2, and 3. Reimer still leads Scornsy 3.5 of a second. Scornsy leads Charlie Golf 3.5 of a second as they make their way through 200R into the spoon. Another good battle we have going now is that of Walrus and Curveball, 4.5 separating these two. We can check back with them in a little bit. This battle still for the lead is going pretty good. Reimer trying to swerve and break the toe as much as he can. Of course, this backstretch here is more or less just for kind of getting within the slipstream to be close enough into that final chicane to make something happen. Reimer has gained about 0.2 of a second on that final lap since that third sectors. We do have a yellow flag coming out of the spoon corner. Oh, Hemphead is nearly buried it in the tire barriers, exiting the spoon there. On the outside, funny enough, that's kind of a weird place to have gone off. Down the pit straight they go. Reimer does still lead, does break the toe of Scornsy. Charlie Golf still too far behind. This battle will remain unchanged for now. The two Alpines again will swap positions here. Are they gaining at any time, however, to Johnny Damon? I don't think so. Matter of fact, Johnny Damon does appear to be losing time to the top 3. He started the last lap about 2 seconds behind. For a moment there, he had lost an additional half second, but it appears he's gained it back. In towards Degner 1 and 2. Reimer still heavily challenged here by Scornsy. And I think this is something that Scornsy does very well. When, in the rare circumstances, we do see Scornsy in this second spot, he just has that natural ability to wear down a car ahead of you. As Angry Walrus is going to be the first driver of the day with a 3-second time penalty. And this is something that, again, separates the good drivers from the even better, is the fact that, I'll pause that thought there, Jabor has gone off through the S-curves there, heading in towards Dunlop. He hasn't hit anything, although he may now. And there it is. He's hit the polystyrene advertising board. And we are back on track there. There's another thing that I was talking about that does separate the good drivers from the great drivers, that when you have a car behind you in your rear view that whole time, it does wear down the car ahead. And it does. Reimer now, see, that was a bit of a mistake there. And I wouldn't be surprised if Scoresy could make something happen going down the pit straight. Scoresy right now is in a position where he genuinely, you know, has not been able to, I think, actually attack Reimer physically. Could it happen now? Round the outside, Reimer maybe tried to break the toe one too many times there. Round the outside, Scoresy's looking for it, exiting turn one. He's not going to have it. But Scoresy continually, as I'm getting interrupted again by this time by Sepulveda, Scoresy continually letting Reimer know that he's right there, and that position is right for the taking should Reimer make a mistake severe enough for the Sauber to swoop in. That is something that only a select few amount of drivers can actually deal with for an extended amount of time. Reimer, could he be one of those drivers? I think he genuinely could. Reimer is quite comfortable where he is right now. He hasn't made too many visible mistakes, if any. Will that stay the same as Scoresy continues to file in behind his teammate? And the same has to be said about Scoresy, about Charlie Gulf, because Gulf is right there as well, and you got to think it's a 2-on-1 battle here, realistically, having both Mercedes and then the Sauber just kind of in the mix chilling by himself. So, yeah, kind of a bit of a question there that I think Scoresy's going to have to ask of himself is, you know, how is that going to play out if we do get a little bit of argy-bargy between himself and Reimer. Somewhere along the line, as Scoresy, I thought, was going to have him moving in the chicane there, not quite. Somewhere along the line, Johnny Damon had actually gained back about 4/10 of a second. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to hold on to it again. The top three have DRS to themselves. Scoresy absolutely will be taking Reimer this time down the pit straight, and even before they get to the first corner. You see, there we go. Now, this is where it gets interesting now, because Charlie Gulf is now the car in second. Can both Mercedes drivers find an opportunity to overtake Scoresy the next time down the pit straight with DRS? Charlie Gulf now finds himself in second, and with Reimer obviously not having DRS there and being at the disadvantage between his teammate and then Scoresy, who now finds himself in the lead. We have a yellow flag and a safety car as Hemphead has gone round, exiting the hairpin, and I'm just wondering what's happened here for this safety car to be warranted to come out. He is missing the entirety of the front wing. The wing, however, was not on the racing surface, if I am to be corrected. It certainly didn't appear that it was on the track there. I think it was in the grass or the gravel on the outside, but yeah, that is kind of a mid-safety car to be called there. For Hemphead, at least, that'll be able to get himself, you know, fixed up and ready to go. That's a good one, though, for R. Manson, who, again, for the day so far, has not had a very good one. And he'll be able to get himself back within territory here. Walrus is pit, Sepulveda has pit, Jabor is pit. Manson is in the pit for his second time here. He's replacing a front wing again here. I believe this is going to be his second front wing change of the day. Yes, it will, on the medium tires for Manson. It'll be interesting to see what Scoresy and the like do here. Into the pit lane they go. We're assuming hard tires for all three of them. Merck will also come in. Merck, you can see, trying to extend that gap a little bit to his teammate ahead, as it's going to be a double stack for the Alpine team, and not even a good Wendy's double stack. We're talking just pit stops here. And are they going to execute it well enough? Not too bad. I think he's going to have to wait there a little bit longer than he would like to. He may lose that spot to Curveball. No, it's not going to happen. Curveball is too far away. Hey, safety car's on track. We'll step aside until it sorts itself out. Scoresy the leader, followed by Gulf and Johnny Damon. Reimer actually lost a lot on that double stack there. The safety car has made a rather late decision to come into the pit lane here. If we look at our tire strategies, the top 10 on the hards, the rest of which has got a bit of a free choice here. Sepulveda, Jabor, Manson have chosen the mediums, Hemphead on the softs. Reimer has been at a massive disadvantage after that double stack in the pit lane between the two Mercedes cars. He has actually dropped to 5th place, down 2 positions. Johnny Damon to 3rd, DJE flat up to 4th. As now we're back on a green flag condition. Scoresy into the first corner will not be challenged by Charlie Gulf, although a little bit further behind. Maybe will he have some action here? Angry Walrus, I think, having a bit of a look on Owa here. Yes, he will. Owa has not gotten a good getaway there out of the first corner, as Angry Walrus now up to 8th. Sepulveda trying to have a look at Bongit here for the 10th spot. Yeah, he's not quite going to be close enough to make it happen this time, although maybe in through Dunlop and the Degners after that. We'll have to wait and see. Scornsy out of Degner 1, in through Degner 2 now. As we have a yellow flag towards the back, Jabor has gone round. Yes, he has. He's lost a bit of the front wing somewhere along the line. As into the hairpin now. Before that, Angry Walrus has taken curveball, I believe, out of Degner 2. Heading towards the spoon curve now, as we do have another yellow flag. Hemphead has gone around, and Sepulveda. Oh, as Hemphead has clobbered the barrier on the inside there. That is going to be another safety car. Yes, it is. So something had happened there into the hairpin between Sepulveda and Hemphead. Both cars had gone quite slow there. Hemphead was trying to get on the throttle in the grass there. The car spun round to the inside and clobbered the barrier. And Hemphead is now, I believe, going to be responsible for both safety cars coming out here. I don't believe we're going to be seeing any more pit stops unless potentially do we see the fellas choose another set of medium tires. Well, Johnny Damon, Damon had a bit of a thought there. So did Reimer. But no, I think everybody's just going to stay out on track here. No apparent changes in strategy, unless potentially does Jabor find an opportunity here. What does Jabor do? It's going to be in for the hard tires. Oh, and a front wing there for Jabor. It's going to be mediums, actually, for the Williams. Just waiting for Jabor, and Hemphead will step aside one more time for the safety car to bring itself in. Scornsy's still in the lead here as we're about halfway through. Safety car will be in at the end of this lap. Unfortunately for that of Hemphead, he has decided to retire from the session. He was making his way to the back end of the safety car queue last time around, and he had lost the car going through the spoon curve, had shed another front wing, and has now decided to end his day in the pit lane prematurely. Exiting the chicane, heading towards the pit straight here. Scornsy will get him back underway. Down the pit straight they go. Green flag back in the air. Charlie Gulf will have to defend from that of Johnny Damon. DJ Flat's in a hell of a position here. Reimer's going to try to send it immediately down to the inside. Reimer needs these spots, and he needs them quick. Will he have it on Merck? No, he'll be forced to the inside and won't be able to power through and get past the Alpine of DJ Flat. Not ideal for him there, and Reimer will be stuck in 5th position for the time being. Scornsy leads them through the S-curves and heading up towards Dunlop. Coming up closer on 10 laps to go in what appears to be a very quick-moving Japanese Grand Prix. Only sometimes. We have had 2 safety cars today, so you never know. That kind of it goes against what I've just said. That's okay, though. These races always do seem kind of quick, I'll be fair with you. 90-second lap times, only 27 laps. They do go pretty quickly here, I won't lie. Exiting the hairpin, 0.3 of a second. Charlie Gulf to the back end of Scornsy. We'll have a reminder of our tire strategies at the moment. Manson, Jabor, and Sepulveda are medium. Everyone else is hard. And as they make their way through the spoon curve here, 0.2 of a second between Charlie Gulf and Scornsy. Charlie Gulf +6 on the day so far. Let's see if he makes something happen down the back straight. Heading in towards 130R. He's along the inside of the Sauber here. Is it going to end poorly? No, it's going to end okay for the time being. Well, actually, nothing has really happened there, but still, you'd have to applaud them for the effort, because that is such a gutsy move there to try to make something happen through that section of the track. Pure stainless steel testicular fortitude. As we have a yellow flag in the back, Sepulveda's gone around. Yes, he has. This is into the chicane. It doesn't appear that he's hit anything, although maybe has he had some help from behind there. And that would be my guess. 0.3 of a second between Charlie Gulf and Scornsy making their way through the S's. Oh, Bong, it's gone around. Yes, he has. Double trouble for the Ferraris today. Bong has not had a good one. As through the Dunlop curve now, only 1/10.5 between Charlie Gulf and Scornsy here. Johnny Damon very close behind, making their way through Degner 1 and 2. Yeah, Scornsy for the time being will remain unchallenged. Charlie Gulf is going to be too far away to try anything into the hairpin here. Johnny Damon as well will not be able to make a move there. DJ Flat does have about 6.5 over Reimer. Reimer has had slightly a fall from grace in this race so far, has to be said. And what it was, again, on the first safety car, everybody had decided to stop. Reimer got caught up in the double stack, that sent him from 3rd down to 5th. He lost the position in the pit lane, genuinely. Oh, and that's a big error there from Reimer. The Alpine of Merck will make his way to the inside and will now take the 5th position. Angry Walrus up next in the queue to try to get around the Mercedes of Reimer, who does look quite vulnerable for the time being, although he's going to try to send one on Merck here. Maybe it'll be happening down the pit straight. What I was going to say was this. We saw on the way into the pit lane, DJE Flat had entered the pit box first of the two Alpines there. Merck had actually gone quite slow under safety car to try to, prevent this double stack blockage here from happening between the two Alpines, and it worked. Reimer did not do that to the back end of Charlie Golf. He pit immediately in behind the Mercedes, had to wait there much longer than he should have, and lost 2 spots in the process. He has gotten 5th place back, having overtaken Merck with DRS. Angry Walrus doing much of the same as well. Merck will actually now fall down to 7th on gross time here, as of course Angry Walrus does have the 3-second time penalty to his name, the only witch of the day so far. Well, spoken a little bit too soon, I'm afraid. Curveball's just picked up one there. I believe was that going through, exiting Degner 1 or Degner 2. Look at this. Charlie Golf is going to be right alongside Scornsy here, making their way through 200R. We have not seen a move happen here yet so far today. Charlie Golf to the inside of the spoon curve, having had great acceleration off the hairpin. Charlie Golf is your new leader. And of course, we didn't think anything was going to happen entering the hairpin, but exiting, we kind of left it up for discussion. And Charlie Golf has made it happen. Of course, Scornsy, an obviously quick driver. And of course, he's going to have DRS heading down the pit straight here. But will Charlie Golf be able to deal with both the Sauber and the Williams? That's going to be the million-dollar question here. DJE Flat also poking his head on this battle as well. But I think for the time being, it is just purely up to Damon and Scornsy. 10 laps to go here in the Japanese Grand Prix. Heading down the pit straight, Scornsy's going to go for it. Yes, he will. I don't think he's going to be able to get the spot, though. That Mercedes has got so much more acceleration around the outside, and Charlie Golf will keep the position for now. Maybe a little bit of contact there. Scornsy right up along the back end of Charlie Golf for the time being. Got a little bit of a wiggle there going over the entry curb to one of the parts of the S's there. He's gathered it back up just fine. Johnny Damon, I would say now, actually the favorite to try to take that 2nd spot, as Scornsy for the time being. Car doesn't appear all too collected, and he has lost about 0.3 of a second to the back end of Charlie Golf. In toward the hairpin they go. Scornsy on the inside line there, getting a halfway decent getaway. I think Johnny Damon might have gotten away just a little bit better, though. Yes, it is. Scornsy's lost a little bit of time there. Oh, and I'm afraid Bong has gone round under the bridge. That's going to be a 3rd safety car, as it is a 3rd dose of front wing lossage for the Ferrari duo. 2 for Hemphead, 1 for Bong. That one is under the bridge, exiting Degner 2, and I think it's well off the racing line, but a 3rd safety car will be deployed here. Now, this one is going to have some impact, because are we going to see a lot of these drivers in the top 10 pit for soft tires if they are available? That would have to be my guess, because genuinely, we're in a situation now where within 10 laps to go, you got to give it your all in this final stanza here. Is that going to be the case? Charlie Golf is in. Scornsy is in. Damon in. DJE Flat has clobbered the back end of Johnny Damon on the way into the pit lane there. DJE Flat is absolutely going to need a wing change. And there is the wing about to be replaced for the Alpine in question. Merck is going to be dead, hung up behind his teammate then. Merck is going to lose a lot of positions here, as it looks as if, no, it won't be a front wing change here for Merck. But the crew has taken their sweet time getting back ready. It appears medium tires are going to be the favorite here amongst those stopping. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. I think it's going to be split about 50-50 there. Golf to the medium, Scornsy to the mediums, Curveball medium, Reimer medium, DJ medium, Merck also medium. Johnny Damon, Manson, Owa, Jabor, Sepulveda, and Bongit have all gone soft. Walrus is the only one to remain hard. Within 10 laps to go, well, I'll step aside one more time as we have the safety car on track. Safety car will be in at the end of this lap. So, coming up closer to 10, sorry, not even 10, 5 laps to go here. Walrus and Curveball, the only 2 cars on the grid. with 3-second penalties to their name. This is going to be one hell of a shootout here towards the end. Half the grid on mediums, half the grid on softs. Only one of them have chosen the hard rubber for this term. Angry Walrus, knowing that he's got 3-second penalty, has chosen the track position to try to lead his way home. Down the pit straight they go, beginning the 21st lap of the 27 scheduled. Johnny Damon have a look to the inside of Scornsey there. A lot of weaving down that pit straight, trying to break the toe from the car behind and trying to recapture it to the one in front. Oh! Never mind. Slight connectivity issues there, but that's all right. 0.2 of a second between Charlie Golf and Angry Walrus, making their way through the S's. And up the hill into the Dunlop curve coming up next. Curveball around the outside of Johnny Damon. And Curveball will be getting that 4th spot. Damon will fall back to 5th. Damon is also, now that I notice it, missing a little bit of front wing there on the right side. Oh, look at this. We've got Manson and DJ. Oh, goodness me. What is happening? I don't even know what to say about that. Those cars were stuck like glue together. And we have a whole just mess of jumbling about going into the hairpin corner now. Several cars, I believe, now missing front wing. A lot of contact being made there. Too much for my tiny little smooth brain to be able to come up with in an amount of words. DJ E-flat and Johnny Damon. Oh, look at the front wing. DJ is missing there. Quite a lot of it, tell you the truth. Johnny Damon, I think, missing a lot of the front wing there. At least just the end plate on the right side. No, he's missing both end plates now, actually, Johnny Damon. Here he goes now. Oh, we'll check with that in a minute. Charlie Golf is making a move for the lead in the 130R, and Scornsey's making one through Curveball as well. I mean, so much now happening up and down the grid, it's almost hard to keep up with. Well, it is. The two Willies are swapping positions now. Johnny Damon will pull off the circuit. He is missing, as we said, quite a lot of front wing. And he will be pulling into the pit lane. So unfortunate for Johnny Damon, who does, again, I say this quite frequently, seems to be one of the unluckiest drivers we have here. In the CCRL, Johnny Damon is unfortunately retired from the session. Curveball's gone around. We got a lot of cars hitting each other now. I believe that is a front wing from a Sauber that is gone awry there, going through the first couple of corners. I hope it's not Oh, and it is Scornsey. The end plate is missing on the right front. Charlie Golf. Scornsey will be getting around Walrus. Walrus is now dropping back quite heavily. What is even happening here? I'm not even sure anymore. I think, has Scornsey gotten into the back end of Angry Walrus? Walrus maybe. I'm not entirely sure. Reimer has now found his way to the back as well. It is just all going to hell here. Got 5 laps to go this next time by. Charlie Golf is in the lead by 4 seconds. I would take the finishing results here today with a bit of a grain of salt, because we might just be looking at some steward reports at the end of it. Who will be involved, I'm not sure. Although what I will say is I'm pretty sure there's only maybe 1 or 2 guys that won't be. I don't think Scornsey's done anything wrong unless he will be reporting someone for something. I don't know. Jabor to the inside of Walrus, and he'll make that one happen. Nice move there from Jabor. Walrus on a 10th and a half here. Oh, so Bongit wanted to the inside of Walrus there. In doing that, Bongit has allowed Merck around the outside through the chicane. Merck will go up to 7th. As Sepulveda has found the grass there. Reimer still on track. This is difficult for Reimer here as well. I mean, what are we even looking at now as far as this finishing order? Charlie Golf plus 7 is massive. Jabor plus 6. Bongit plus 5. Reimer down 8. Scornsey down 1. I tell you what, in fairness to Scornsey, he's holding on pretty well for the time being, despite having that front wing damage. I think maybe also because, I was going to say, did Manson have some behind him, but he doesn't. Merck and Walrus now side by side. Walrus and now Bongit. Oh, going through Dunlop. Got a bit dicey there for a minute. Curveball now. Walrus is just kind of letting cars past, I think, at this point. He's not really having defended. Oh, this is a difficult one now because, again, we've got a lot of critical principal performers here that are just nowhere even close to being in position for a podium now. I think, genuinely, R. Manson to make his way to the podium plus 2. I mean, I would say only plus 2. He deserves this podium, but you think about it, what a day that he's had, right? Had that incident immediately in the offing there. Was at some point 30 seconds behind the next car in last place. Has found his way back up to 3rd. He deserves this podium today. But I mean, the 5 guys that probably also should have been in contention for this podium are now almost nowhere near it. Reimer's nowhere near it. Johnny Damon isn't near it anymore. DJ is about 2 seconds behind and missing a lot of front wing here. Jabor actually doing okay, but is going to have a lot of ground to make up in these final couple of laps. Merck is in that kind of same boat there as well. Curveball has dropped a bunch of spots. Walrus as well. Curveball, I think, has just made another error there exiting that first corner. Reimer, as we said. I mean, this is just going to be one hell of a tipsy-turvy kind of day of results here. If we take a look at the standings coming into today's race, which we didn't do today, I apologize. After Austria last time out, Charlie Gulf led the driver standings. Tied on points with DJ E Flat in second. Reimer was third, only 10 points behind the top three. 8 points behind him was Merck in fourth, King Pro in fifth, who's not here today. Manson sixth, Walrus seventh, Owa eighth, Damon ninth, Curveball 10th. 3 laps to go with the line this time by. As far as the constructors are concerned, the Mercedes, yes, leading the way here, that duo of Charlie Gulf and Reimer. Tell you what, only leading it, though, by 6 points over the Renaults. Sorry, the Alpines. I've made that mistake a couple of times now. Alpines in second, the Astons in third. The Astons are going to be gaining, I think, at least a little bit here with Manson's good result today. I think the big losers out of this have to be... Well, that's a good question. I was going to say... I'm going to have to say the biggest losers are probably the Astons today, realistically. Manson third is a good result. The Alpines fourth and fifth. Charlie Gulf taking the win. Yeah, that's out of those 3 top constructors there, I would say the strongest day has absolutely gone to the Alpines. Not only are they going to be pulling together a good result here, they are also staying out of trouble. I think a lot of people don't really value that as much as they should. Staying out of trouble is just a massive part of this game. Walrus says, now that I see this, Walrus has had something wrong with his wheel. So those positions that we saw him lose there, I think maybe was he in the pause menu. As Curveball's gone round, I think, in the hairpin somewhere. Yes, he has. So that would explain why Walrus was caught up in a bunch of stuff there. His wheel disconnected, according to him. Huh. Very odd. 2 laps to go. I think it looks as if, for the time being, the podium 3 kind of determined, although good battle here between Jabor and DJ. Heading into 130R. DJ, again, missing a lot of front wing there. But for the time being, managing an okay result as long as he can hold on with Owa and bong it behind. It's actually looking a pretty good battle here, despite the efforts, the handicapped efforts that DJ's going to have to make here. DRS activated, and again, look at DJ, he's going for it. Now, we talk about this sometimes, pretty much every time we notice a car with this much wing damage, that not only is it cornering, but it's braking performance as well. That does get affected by losing that much front wing. A little bit of an end plate you can kind of deal with. That is a lot of front wing to be missing here for DJ E Flat, and he is now having to struggle this car around the circuit with 2 laps to go. Currently residing in 5th. Problem is with DJ now is that he's going to be in a position. Is this going to be interesting here? Could this be a bit of trickery from the Alpines? Can Merck slow here to be able to get DJ E Flat within DRS range so the Alpine teams holds on to 4th and 5th? I think that's possible, and that's what's happening here. Because DJ is not going to be able to hold on to that 5th spot at the head of a DRS train. He will be overtaken by at least Jabor and probably Owa behind him as well. Merck, I think, is purposefully slowing down here to get DJ within DRS range to be able to keep this 4th and 5th result. I think that's exactly what's happening. As Owa kind of wanted it temporarily there around the outside of Jabor going through 130R. Jabor is really going to have a bit of a tussle here with DJ into the chicane. It's not going to happen now. Final lap of the Grand Prix underway. Charlie Gulf. Oh, his Bong's got a 3-second penalty there. Owa has gone around. Yes, he has. Owa into the gravel, exiting the chicane. This is a massive, massive decision here. Is DJ going to be able to hold on to the position? It certainly looks as if he does. So now this move will have to be made by an also somewhat handicapped Jabor there, missing front wing as well. on this final lap on one of the most difficult to overtake circuits on calendar. This is massive. Somewhere along the line, a child has just made a joke about a low taper fade, but I don't know what that's about. Jabor does still lead Bongit here. Bongit having the 3-second penalty as well. Charlie Golf will lead them in through the spoon curve now. Scornzeet 5 seconds behind. Scornzeet missing a bit of the front wing on the right side. Has lost about 5 seconds to the back end of Charlie. Scornzeet again has been caught up in other people's mishaps here. But I think Scornzeet, again, with a good result, can absolutely put this league on notice, and I think that's what he's going to do here. Massive battle still for this 5th position. Jabor is going to have to try something in towards 130R. Is he going to get close enough? Charlie Golf's going to win the Grand Prix. Scornzeet will come second. Massive move here. Is Jabor going to make it happen? He's into the grass there. It's going to have to be a send into the chicane. I don't think it's going to happen. Bongit nearly gets into the back end of the Williams. And no, this is the order in which they will finish. DJ E-Flat will cross the line 5th, Jabor 6th. Bongit nearly had a run there at the end for 7th. Reimer's actually going to take that spot with Bongit's penalty. 8th will be Bongit, 9th will be Sepulveda, 10th is Curveball. And that'll do it for us here in Japan. Congratulations to that at Charlie Golf, your winner today. And be sure to join us next time out when we head to the Losail Circuit in Qatar for Round 6 of the CCRL Wednesday tier season. For Hotspot, it has been a pleasure joining you once again, and we'll see you next time.